Let's go YouTube. This is your boy, Lost Wanderer 313. It's been a while since I posted a YouTube video recently, and I know I've been like on and off of my videos. I mentioned it so many times before, so I'm not here to justify why I haven't been posting lately. If this is what you're thinking about, to be honest, bro, like I've just been lazy and inconsistent, and it's just there's times, right, where there are times when I was more motivated to start these type of YouTube videos, and then there are times where it's just like I just lost complete interest. But now, hopefully, with this video, I'll be getting back on track and posting more quality content soon. And this is probably the first video you're actually like seeing me in person, like I'm talking to you like live and direct. And you may be wondering like why I'm like masked up. It's just that right now I'm not feeling too comfortable like showing my identity right now, and I'd rather just keep myself anonymous. But that being said, I just want to talk about today's topic, where for today's video I want to talk about how as guys we're struggling with this world of being fake, right? I don't know if people have noticed this, especially nowadays. It feels like nowadays when you're living in your day-to-day lives, you're feeling like not real in a sense, or it's like to the point where you always have to like fake yourself in certain situations. Now it could be anything. It could even be like in terms of your career. It could be in terms of your social ladder, your social status, you being an influencer. Even I would say it could even go as far as even in religious communities, where this can also feel in that sense. But I just want to talk about in today's video that it's a lot of struggle. It's a struggle that especially as guys living in this modern day and age, and that we have to go through. And it's like the question is like how do we navigate through this realm, and how can we as men proceed to go further in life, right? And as we're trying to like go through this world, we face a lot of struggles with how we express ourselves. And what I mean is that like there are situations where you might feel left out, right? You might feel like you don't belong in part of a group, you don't belong in a community, you don't belong with a certain group of people, or your worldview differs from their worldview. Or it could be that like no matter how hard you try yourself to like fit in, you feel like there's something that's deep within you that you just can't fit in with them, right? You'd rather just be like your real authentic self and just go with that. Biggest example is what I'm doing right now. Like I'm making these YouTube videos, right? And I feel like this is like the only platform where I can actually like express my real thoughts, and without fear of being criticized, without fear of judgment, without fear of anything, right? Or I mean, of course, at the end of the day, like you might be watching this video and you probably either don't know where I'm going with this, or you might even disagree with me completely, and that's fine, because that's your opinion, right? And I wanted to keep it that way. I want to see differing opinions on this channel. That's one of the reasons why I made it. But the main reason why I made this channel in the first place is to, is to shed light, especially as a man, specifically as guys. Like, this is not a channel that's oriented towards like women. If that's, let's just say you're a girl and you're watching this, like this channel is not really oriented towards you. This is more oriented towards like as guys, that the common struggles that we're facing with. And I want to shed more light on that. So that's why I made this channel. And then again, it's like I said, like going back to the main topic of this video is we're dealing with a bunch of like fake things. and how because of dealing with so many fake things or fake people or fake situations, that it makes us feel lost. It makes us feel purposeless. It makes us feel like that we're not going anywhere in life, or we're just not relating to people. And then because of that side effect, like, oh, maybe now as guys we're facing like loneliness. We feel more lonely. Sometimes, like, even from my personal experience, sometimes like when I'm with people who don't like, who I don't relate to, or I don't like share my thoughts, or like my opinions as them, they're not the same as them. Like, I actually feel even more lonely compared to, let's just say, if I'm just like chilling by myself, which I'm doing right now. I'm just chilling at home, just by myself, doing my own thing, right? And I'm actually okay with that. And also at the same time, it's like this whole world just feels fake and artificial. And I feel like the majority of the main reason why I feel this way is because of modernity. It's because of the modern world that we're living in, especially in the West. That where I'm from. It's really out there in your face. What do I mean by that? Like, as humans, we used to live in a time where we're able to communicate with one another. We're able to talk to one another. We're able to like relate to one another just based on the humanic level. Nowadays, you can't do that, right? Nowadays, everything is run by social media. Now it's gone to advance to the point where AI is being used. You know, some of you may even be watching this video and be like, "Oh, is this even a real video, or is this like AI?" Because like AI has gotten that realistic. And that's actually like very scary to think about, right? But it's just that this is the reality of things, like, and because of how everything feels so artificial, how everyone, instead of just like having a normal conversation with a stranger, or a normal conversation with, even with your friends, people like, even in friend groups, like, you probably notice that like people just like, after a certain group, when it just gets like, this awkward silence where everyone just gets silent, people are just like, oh, let me just check my phone, just to make themselves look busy. But in reality, they're not even checking anything, you know. And I know this because I've done this myself, right? And it's very depressing when you think about this. And honestly, most of these ideas that even I'm explaining in my video is that there's this YouTuber. His name is known as Life Outrage, and he actually explained this more in a better way, where he even said himself that like the reason why he can't fit in this modern day society is because like no matter how many times he tries to do it, like he always seems that nothing works out for him. And then he didn't realize that until he started like reflecting on himself, and then he became self-aware, that to the point where it's like, no, this is just who I am. I don't fit in this society. And the more I started listening into his videos, like the more I realized that if you really see the reality of things, and especially with your day-to-day life, it's something you can't ignore. Like, no matter how many times you try to cope with it, you're trying to say like, no, man, like, oh, this is society. You have to live with this. You have to do this. You do this. It's like it comes to a point where through your own experiences and through your own observations, if you've really taken the time to reflect, you will notice that what he was saying is right. For at least for the most part. And we, unfortunately, as guys, we live in this day and age where everything just feels so fake. Nothing seems real, nothing seems authentic, nothing seems like, nothing seems like anything's going our way. So now the question is like, how do we, especially as men, like, how do we, like, go forward in life, right? Especially just knowing that everything feels so fake and everything just feels abnormal. And if I'm being honest, like, to be honest, I don't have the answers, because I'll say, like, at the end of the day, life is complicated. If I'm being honest, I guess the best thing that I could say is that, like, just just be true to yourself, right? Like, there's people that you're going to encounter that they're going to like you for it, and those are probably like the people that you want to keep around. And then there's people that, and let's just say you are true to yourself, but they feel uncomfortable, or they're trying to like maybe force you or trying to influence you to be like, oh man, why don't you just be like us? Why don't you just enjoy the trends? Why don't you just be part of society? Blah 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 blah. It's like, but then again, that's up to you, right? If that's something that you want to do, if you want to just be like, okay, I just want to be with the norms or just keep up with the Jonases, whatever, good, then that's you. But if you're someone like me, or if you're someone like that doesn't see these things this way, you're probably gonna be like, nah, man, like I'd rather just be true to myself. And because of that, like you're definitely gonna face friction, because even from my experiences, like even being like in certain religious communities, this is what I experienced too. Like the moment I started like being my authentic self, I noticed that like they're very uncomfortable around me. They isolated me. They like they try to like they try to convince me that like no, be a part of us, do this, do that. But the things that they were doing is like honestly I didn't like it. I just didn't want to be a part of it. And because of that, they thought that that they just hated me for that, right? So yeah, it just goes to show like we live in a world of fake people, and unfortunately, this is just the reality that we have to deal with at the end of the day. Sorry, it might sound a little disappointing that maybe you're looking for a solution. I mean, but then again, I'm just being honest. Like the best thing I could say, like again, to repeat myself, is just be true to yourself. And maybe you might find people that will respect you for that, and those are probably the people that you want to keep. Yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to like shed some light on this topic. Please, I want to also hear your thoughts, comments, suggestions, solutions, anything will be appreciated. And like I said, please like and comment, subscribe, and hopefully I'll be posting more videos more often, so I can like talk to you more on a personal level like I'm doing right now. Anyways, guys, have a good day. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.